This year, get ready to say Candyman. Universal and MGM's remake of the supernatural slasher picture entered theaters August 27, 2021, after many delays. The picture was supposed to be released last summer, but like practically every other major release set for 2020, it had been put back multiple times. So here's everything we know about Candyman, the fourth sequel. This is 10 Zone. Candyman's sequel release date. After a year of delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Candyman sequel has finally received a theater release date of August 27th, as well as a new trailer for the remake of the 1992 horror picture. This is the fourth time the film has been released. It was originally slated to be released in June of last year, but was then put back an entire year to September and October. Who is in the cast? Anthony is played by Yahya, Abdul-Mateen II of Aquaman and Watchmen, and Brianna is played by Tiona Paris of WandaVision. Brianna's brother Troy is played by Nathan Stewart Jarrett from Misfits, and William, the senior Cabrini Green inhabitant, will be portrayed by Coleman Domingo from Fear the Walking Dead and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. There are a few performers who reprised their roles from the previous film, including Vanessa Estelle Williams as Anthony's mother. Annie Marie and Casey Kramer of Chicago Fire portrays a reborn Helen Lyle, the role played by Virginia Madsen in the original film. Meanwhile, Candyman's part has not been replaced. Thus, Tony Todd is back in the cast. The trailers don't show Todd, but they do contain his distinct and terrifying voice. Candyman's production team. Nia DaCosta is the director of Candyman, following 2018's thriller Little Woods, which starred Tessa Thompson and Lily James. This will be DaCosta's second film as a filmmaker. She also directed 2 episodes of Top Boy, a British television drama. She was named as the director of the Captain Marvel sequel for Marvel in August of last year, with a November 2022 release date. Jordan Peele, the filmmaker of Getting Out, is one of Candyman's principal production firm, Monkey Paw. He's collaborating on the project with Wynn Rosenfield, and the two have collaborated on the script with DaCosta. Tony Todd is set to appear in the new Candyman film. Tony Todd was said to be returning as the Candyman in September 2019. Todd played the famous villain in the Candyman sequels, Candyman Farewell to the Flesh and Candyman Day of the Dead, after bringing him to life in 1992. Todd didn't reveal much about his part in the film during his interview with Horror Geek Life, but he did hint that it won't be a 5-second cameo. Todd also expressed his belief that what Nia DaCosta and Jordan Peele do with the film would surprise audiences. So, what's the story here? Candyman isn't a remake of the first film, but rather a direct sequel that skips the 2 previous sequels. After 30 years, Chicago's Cabrini Green neighborhood has been gentrified and transformed into a desirable and costly location to live. The film follows visual artist Anthony McCoy, who first appeared in the movie as a child, as he returns to the area with his lover Brianna. After a chance interaction with one of Cabrini's senior citizens, Anthony decides to look into the Candyman mythology as a source of inspiration for his work. When the hook-handed ghost reappears, though, things start to get extremely scary. With Anthony's painting career on the verge of failing, a chance encounter with a Cabrini Green old-timer exposes Anthony to the tragically awful truth of the actual tale behind Candyman, according to the official plot. Anthony begins to investigate these gruesome details in his studio as a fresh fodder for paintings, inadvertently unlocking a door to a complex history that reveals his own sanity and unleashes a terrifying contagious wave of violence that puts him on a collision course with destiny. Candyman's sequel trailer. A trailer had already been released because the film was only 3 months away from release when it was originally postponed. The fundamental narrative was given in this first teaser, coupled with a lot of disturbing visuals. Even more striking was the June teaser, which featured a short animated film employing shadow puppets to tell the tragic background of Candyman. A few weeks later, the third trailer was released, which combined footage from the video with fresh footage from the film. How is the Candyman legend based on fact? Candyman was inspired by true events that are far from more terrifying than mythology. To begin with, Daniel Robitaille's violent origin myth is based on America's troubling history of murdering black men to protect white women. Interracial marriages were uniformly rejected from the early days of the American colonies until 1958, when the landmark Loving v. Virginia Supreme Court case abolished the ban. The Candyman flicks are set in a real Chicago public housing project with a terrible history. Ruthie Mae McCoy, a 52-year-old lady residing in a Chicago Housing Authority building, was murdered in 1987 by a man who shot her 4 times through her bathroom mirror. Many of the apartments had unusual layouts with pathways through medicine cabinets, and other incidents of people breaking in through mirrors were also documented. A viral TikTok video recently revealed that a young New Yorker got access to an empty apartment through the bathroom mirror. What we know about Helen Lyle's origin story. The original film follows Helen Lyle, played by Virginia Madsen, a Chicago graduate student who is investigating urban legends when she comes across Candyman. She discovers the housing projects, as well as the terrible legend itself. She investigates the death of a woman and a youngster who are killed by Candyman in the first film and ends up in his crosshairs. Her inquisitiveness leads her to death, which occurs during a betrayal of her husband, who has been cheating on her. She gets burned alive, yet, like Candyman, she becomes immortal. After the film, her husband screams out to his fallen wife, "Oh, Helen," and her spirit appears, killing him. Helen Lyle's persona embodies the terror that surround housing developments, as well as the socioeconomic barrier that exists between the wealthy white class and underprivileged black communities. Helen spends the entire film trying to comprehend and connect with the Candyman tale, and the film implies that the best way to do so is to die for it and wallow in the Candyman's terrible fate. Helen's immortal retribution will never be as poignant as Daniel's origins, but it was a strong ending at the time of the film's debut. What did DACOSTA have to say about the film? The original film's ability to combine a strong social criticism into a spooky ghost story was one of its most outstanding features. Surprisingly, the new film will also tackle some serious issues in addition to the terror. Last year, DACOSTA told Slash Films that it's so much about identity and what violence may look like. It's not just this gruesome lynch mob, it can also be the force of gentrification or the microaggressions that come with trying to figure out what your next artwork will be. It takes numerous forms, which is part of what we wanted to discuss in this film. And that's one of the reasons Anthony fits in the art world so well. He could show it off in a unique way. Our points of view are about the many different ways in which violence may manifest itself and murder in America. And that's where the film will be set. Candyman has a long and interesting history that will likely be useful to know heading into Nia DaCosta's take on the horror franchise. It's unknown whether the film will produce future sequels, but it may introduce a new generation to the story and continue it. So that's it for the recent news of our Candyman the 4th sequel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.